Good morning and welcome. And I have one of you sitting there right now. I'd like to say hello to you and welcome along this morning. And if you're wanting to, you're very welcome just to listen in. You may have sent a question in already, but if you want to jump on and say hi, if you've got a question that you want to ask today, then please go ahead. So today I'm feeling a little bit nervous, and so I wanted to share what that's about. So let's just get into the right space first, and I'm going to connect in with that level of consciousness that is we're not always conscious to, but it is our inner truth and our wisdom of who we are. So the nervousness, as I start to settle my energy in, and that's what it is the settling in of that energy, is because I'm about to shift from just how I'm used to communicating into a place where that is the truth that I have interpreted, and that I'm hearing, and that's wanting to come forth now. So as I settle into that energy, I start to become nice and calm, and nervousness because whoever it is that I'm speaking with, my intention, my mission is, and why I do everything that I do, is about helping and supporting and reminding people that to bring yourself back to yourself is always the best place to be. It is always the best experience that we have of ourselves. And so, yeah, I just want to do a good job with that. So today, if you do get online and you haven't subscribed yet, like and subscribe, and you'll get notifications of the weekly reads that are coming, that I do every Tuesday from 10:30 to 11. And I have a few questions here that were sent in to me. Let me just make sure I can see that. I'm just going to make sure that the people can. Okay, so I'm just going to say hi, so feel free to say something back to me if you want to. All right, first, before we get started though, I do want to say that anything that's shared today on this video is for entertainment purposes only. If you've got some real issues that you're struggling with that you need to seek a professional, then please go ahead and do that. But what I do encourage you to do is actually to take a moment to center in, to close your eyes, or even if that's not convenient, is to check in with your breath and your breathing. And as you do, you'll notice that you become in a place where it does feel calm right now. And there's nothing that you need answers to. You're present. Okay. Now I'm going to start off, since there's no questions coming up in the inbox, and they will get first priority, is I'm going to just, for those that don't make the live but they still want questions answered, you're welcome to send any questions to hello@jaxinbrook.com, and I will do my best just finding them now. Okay. First question is, I have a rash on my skin that has appeared from nowhere over the last few days. Can you see what the problem is and how I can get rid of it? Okay, so as that reveals itself to me, I see it sitting in like a knotted clump of energy, and it is more complex than what I'm going to say right now, but I'm going to give you the gist of it so that you can start doing something about the unraveling. So this is a built-up energy, the rash that's now showing itself in physical form. It's built up over time. It's a built-up energy of frustrations, of resentments, of feeling angry and pissed off and not quite sure what to do. Do I say something? Do I not say something? And so it's all about the same thing, but it's accumulated. I mean, different things, but it's all accumulated, and now it's coming out and is apparent for you on your body. And this, obviously, it's very uncomfortable, and you're wanting to do something about it now. So initially, because it feels on a physical level like there's something inside of your system that needs attention, this is to go to those people that you're used to having those things done. If you see a naturopath or a homeopath or somebody like that, they're able to get a deeper look on what it is that's going on for you, that your body, it feels like there could be something in the system that you have an allergy to, but also your system is deficient in some particular things as well. So I'm not seeing things specifically because it's a bit more than just saying one thing, but that would be the first step to get this physically addressed on, so you can start to get some relief in that way. On a deeper level, when it comes to what this is all about, it's the call to stepping into your spiritual journey. And what I mean spiritual journey, the call to having a relationship with that part of you that does know your truth. You are a deep thinker. You think very deeply. You're there. You're a great human being. You're there for other people, but you're not so much there for yourself in this respect. And so this is what the call is for. So I hope that answers your question. I've just got a message through to say somebody can't type. Okay, I've got your question there, so I will get round to it though, so you don't need to type. Oh, I'll have to check that one out if people can't type questions in. That's not going to work, is it? All right, so getting back to, where am I? I'm feeling deeply worried about my son being at school. I kept him home yesterday but sent him today. What to do? Okay, I'm just checking in with the energy of sending him to school. He's very okay. It doesn't feel like there's anything wrong there. So what's the concern or the frazzled energy is really a mother's love, just wanting her child to be okay and be safe. And there's so many changes that are occurring right now, rules, regulations, and apart from the stuff that a mother has to deal with other issues as well. So I get the worried energy is really there, and it's wanting to protect, and because of just who you are and who you are for your son. So he feels fine at school. What does seem to be there though around school is to stay in close communication and to make that something, not to be worry or concern, but to stay updated with things that are coming into effect, just so that you're clear about what that is, and that you're able to deal with those things along the way. So it's nothing to do with him being at school right now or not. He's doing okay. If in the near future your sense is to pull him out, you want to come from a place where you not so much you're doing it because you're worried about him, it's because you're informed. So that's a very different energy. All right, hope that answers your question there. Nobody's chatting, so I'm guessing I need to fix something up in that inbox there. Okay, next question is, what is confirmation purposes? My question is for confirmation purposes, and what is my business or businesses requiring of me right now? I feel like with the energy of this, it is, you are used to getting your answers when you were like you're in a still place, and you're very able to, do things very quickly and dynamically and move forward in that way. However, there is what the issue is right now is that it's almost like you're stopping yourself because you're not sure. You think it's because you're not sure, but you're gauging on external things happening around you rather than being centered in what you know to be true for yourself right now. So what's required of you is to come to, you have a practice, and I know you, so I know one of your practices, I don't know if you still do it, was like a starfish, get on the floor, starfish. So the calling is to, however you do that now, this is not about what's happening externally. This is about your business, your intention behind it, and what's sitting there right now. And it feels like that's what's required. And I hope that's clear enough for you to get on with. the answers are already there for you, and they will come forward very easily and naturally. And it's not about questioning the question, the answer that you get. I mean, not questioning the answer that you get, and moving forward in that knowing. Okay, and let me know. Send me a text if that's not clear enough. If you want something more specific. Oh, yes. Hello, Jordan. Yes, it's working. So I'm not sure what was happening there before. But yeah, if you're online and you have a question, you're very welcome to send a question through via the chat box. And if nothing comes through, I will keep reading what I got through. I have met someone fairly recently. Will we stay together? You are a woman who is very deep and very knowing. The energy that's coming through with this question is to remind yourself you actually chose him, and there are specific reasons why you chose him, and to get present to what they are, because suddenly when you're in a relationship with someone, there's a whole lot of things going on and our emotions are everywhere, and it's just usually a pretty good time. But as you start to make decisions around, if you want to be with this person and your intention was for a relationship, you're a relationship kind of gal, that you like to be in relationship. And so it's to remind yourself of why you chose him. It's not about the yes or no answer of will we stay together, because if you look at what you've chosen, then it's to choose that, and it takes away the questions of will we stay together, because it feels like that what the reasons why you chose him, they are very strong. And so it's about those few things. There's usually a few things as to why we want someone in our lives, and there's those, and so we bring it in, and then everything else that isn't as important, it's about letting those things go for you and noticing what is there in those things as to why you chose them in the first place. So there in that remains a nice, it's a true steady line of energy that's there that connects the two of you, regardless of what else looks like it's going a bit wonky. It's actually not, if you're to get clear about those things that you're there in the first place. So the relationship feels good, but there's a bit too many other things that you're trying to go, well, it should look like this, and it's relationships can look messy a lot of the time, a bit like business, but yet there's a purpose why you do business, and if you focus on just those things there, then everything sort of falls into place. You don't need to worry about every single detail of the business, just the main reasons why you're doing it, why you're there, who you get to show up as, and it's the same with you in relationship. So, yeah. Hi, Nick. Thank you for joining me online. If you have a question, just go ahead and I will do my best to answer it for you. Hello. And I want you to, I won't say anymore. I was just going to start having a full-on conversation with you, Nick, but I love you and it's nice to see you on this morning. All right, I have a question here. The rental market is crazy out there. Should I stay in Queensland or would I have more opportunity in New South Wales? Okay. Okay, so initially what I'm seeing is no movement. So that's sort of saying that to be where you are is where you need to be. And there is ground around me, and there is a wanting to connect with the earth. So have you been wanting to, understand more about growing plants and things? Have you wanted to connect with the earth in ways where you haven't before? There's no movement required right now. It's to initiate what you really want in the home right now. And I'm seeing a lot of greens. I see, this doesn't sound related to a shift, answering your question this way, but there's a lot of greens around you. There's a calling to change and transform your health on a complete level. And if you take a moment to look around exactly where you are, you'll notice that you have everything within your wherever you are to actually implement some things here and actually have some fun, have some learning, have some further deeper understanding. But I see that you're going to do a big transition here, and so the thing is to stay where you are and embark on that journey. Thank you. I love you too, Nick. A lot. Okay, next question. Am I going to progress in my current career? There's a lot that you know that you're not sharing in your current workplace. And if I'm to look down the track a little bit, I can see there's a lot of, you do excel, you will grow and develop and actually rise to the top of whatever your career is. And that's not what you're in right now, is not the be all and end all. You will end up transitioning into other places. And for now, that's not what you need to know, though. What you need to know now is that you're noticing things in your current workplace that could do with modification, and that you are that you know how to do this, and it's time to speak up. So this is where you need to trust yourself in the observation and actually speaking up and stepping into. And it's not for the purpose of you excelling in your career. It's actually to add value to the company. So if you can look at it that way, and that way, if you take the heat off yourself, like you're making this about yourself, because you're a little bit shy in that way, even though you're confident with what it is that you do, then you will be able to communicate because it's for the benefit of the company that you work for, and you have a really strong work ethic. I see you actually doing your own business of sorts further on down the track as you gain that confidence about speaking that next thing for yourself. So all the best with that. All right, twice I've been told that a windfall is coming my way. Wish I'd been told that. Do you have any intuition around this for me, or should I just laugh and appreciate what I already have? Which I do. Okay, and hi, Lecky. Nice to see you online today. And if you have a question, please go ahead and ask. So windfall, let's see what's sitting there as far as that goes. I love a good windfall. Okay, so I wouldn't call it windfall, but I get what you're saying. There is, as soon as I brought that question through, is that there was a big, it's almost like a big, not bubble, but it's like a really nice golden light there. There is something unexpected that's coming your way as far as money goes, and it feels like it's big. And so it doesn't feel like you'd normally think of a windfall through buying a ticket somewhere and you're going to get a whole bunch of money because you win. This is something that feels a bit more solid, and where, yeah, I see it on sitting to the left side here. And so what would be a good idea is, because whenever there's a windfall, if there's something there in your energy, would be to even just, if the theme today is centering on self, is even just to sit with that so it can become familiar, that feeling of that next, of what that would feel like for you. And just so that you can actually, and I don't know everyone and their beliefs, but if you're used to talking to me, everything's about energy and vibration, right? Is just to see yourself sitting there with it and how it feels and how you're connected with it, and just thank it for receiving it, and come from that place rather than I'm expecting. It's sort of like waiting to, this is going to happen maybe, is to actually get present to how this is trying to come into your life now. So I don't see it very far off in the future, so you'll have to keep me tabs on that. But yeah, it is unexpected, and you're really, really happy that it occurs. So yeah, that's what I've got there for you. And continue to appreciate what you already have. I know that you are a person that sits in gratitude and appreciation, and this here is about it. It feels like you're not quite, because there's a person involved, feels like you're not quite connected to that person. So it might be coming in from a way where you get to share in it. It's, yeah, I'll just leave that there and we'll see what unfolds. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. You're so beautiful, and I love that you're here today. All right, so I'll keep, if there's any other questions coming up, just please say. I've got a few here. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just scrolling through. Okay, we've got another relationship one where it's recently over. Will we get back together? The answer is, when it comes to possibility of you getting back together, there's still a question mark in there. And I'll tell you why the question mark's there, is that in your relationship, there is usually one who is more dominant in their energy. And what I mean, I don't mean dominant, I mean they're more in their masculine. So they lead the relationship, and there's one that's more in the feminine, whether they be male or female, where they initiate love by holding space. So they don't need to move ahead as fast as what the masculine does. The masculine is always about action, right? And moving somewhere, doing things, making it work. So in the relationship here, what I'm being shown is your partner, or your previous partner, and yourself in a car, and she's driving. So she's driving the relationship, and you're quite happy to be the passenger and let her drive. Now, the thing is that what happens when anyone drives a car and they're the only ones that drive, if this is going a long distance, then eventually the driver gets tired, or the passenger can fall asleep and not notice how far they've come. And this is sort of an example of what the breakdown was in your relationship, is that rather than taking turns at driving, there's been one person that's been dominant in it, and suddenly they're just like, I've got to get out of the car. I can't handle driving anymore, and then slam of that car door. So here's the thing now, because she's got out of the car and it's slammed, and she doesn't want to hop back in that car anymore, even though she knows that the person inside is somebody that she loves very dearly. The thing is that to look at what you both have or had together, you still have, as far as there's so many good things in this relationship. There's an amazing friendship. You've held space for her. She supported you in the ways that, like, you work really great together. But because of other things that are really important to her and maybe not so important to you, it's like, well, I'm going to go somewhere else, because those few things that I want in relationship, I know that I can actually have that. And so in answer to your question is, it's time to hop in the driver's seat. And this is not about just driving the relationship. It's to drive. It's about, sorry, I'm talking about driving everywhere, but it's about driving yourself to the destination. It's about, it's not to do it all the time. It's about this is a shared journey together. And when we're in a shared journey together, we've got to remember that there are times when those things that we've decided we're happy not to go and do, not go and experience, quite happy to go along with the partner because that's what they say is the best thing, or they just stop thinking for themselves. It's time to get back in that driver's seat and go, okay, whereabouts in my relationship did I not experience myself? If you can look at it that way, rather than thinking about futuristic things here, it's about looking back, having reflecting on those things that you really just didn't do, or thought that you couldn't do, or just didn't want to because you got a bit not lazy in your thinking. You didn't mind where you're at. You got quite comfortable, if I can put it that way. So this is a calling for that. Now you'll always have a great friendship because you two already have that, and it's unique and it's amazing. But those things that you are passionate about that you may have even forgotten about, this is where, if you can go back even to the beginning of your relationship, go, what were those things that I was doing, who was I being, that have really over time just dropped off and you've forgotten about. So this is something you can bring back that energy, reconnect with yourself in that way, and then get in that car and drive. And then the possibility of where that might take you. And so it's not about asking if she'll come back, because there's still that, anything can change. It depends on where you take yourself right now. So it's not about her, it's about you leading your life in that way. Okay, good morning, Diane. You've got a job interview tomorrow. Any handy hints? Well, apart from you're going to ace it. I do see that you've got the stuff that's occurring in your world, and that's not, but when it comes to the job interview, you're very cool, calm and collected. I don't feel there's any extra hints I need to give you. You have already got it. It's yours. So if that's what you want, you will get it. And so just if you come back to center and just go, okay, does that serve my purposes now? And yeah, so it's already yours. Nothing more to say. No handy hints. You don't need any. Yeah. Okay, so we're coming up to, got 3 minutes to go. If anyone's got another question, just go ahead and ask. I'll just see if there's one more here on here. Everything's been answered. Okay, so thank you for coming along today, and I really appreciate it. You know, this type of work is in my heart. Mum used to be Mum still is a psychic. I've asked her if she will work alongside with me. She said she would, and so I can only imagine that these are going to continue to get better and better as I just move into this more naturally. So I appreciate you being here at the beginning of my journey. And today's theme is centering on self. So just bring yourself back to yourself through your breath and begin from there. So because when you do, you detach from everything else that's occurring outside of you, and you come back within, and all your answers are within. So bless, bless, bless. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.